one of the things that we're building is range hoods, and so I've been working with Sam, and I would say mostly this is Sam. So there's certain things about building the range hood, the results that I don't like. Some of the range hoods I've seen in the past are really wavy on the front side, and everybody just says that's just wood range hoods, and that's the way it is. And building metal range hoods and shooting paint on those, everything's super smooth and just perfectly smooth. You don't see any ripples, and so that was something I wanted to strive for when we're building our hoods. And so we've have this HDM product here, and I had Sam work on a program through Mosaic to build our range hood, and Sam's really kind of growing in understanding cabinetry and dados and blind dados and all the things, and along with his computer skills and everything that he's learned in the metal shop with the CNCs, he's applied here. And so he's actually doing a great job of picking up speed, but I wanted to kind of show off what we've been working on. And this is really just our test pieces, so it's still in the raw stages. And in about 20 minutes, Sam's going to cut the real deal, so hopefully it fits.
Yeah.
Because I like the smoothness of the HDM product, and so what we did is we relief cut the backside of this HDM here for the face of the curved range hood. I love the smoothness of this, like I was saying, and so if we can roll it, we won't see all that waviness. I just really wanted to avoid using plywood and getting that wavy thing is the whole thing I've been trying to avoid. And so pretty much told Sam what I wanted. I found a couple ideas of how to build it and sent it to him, and then he just put it all into Mosaic, used what he's learned, created some dados, so this thing just flies together for our specialty builder. And so the relief cuts, we can roll the face of the cabinet. I'm pretty excited to see this thing come together. So
He
just made the range hood like 12 inches wide for tests. So
yeah, this is
the world's narrowest range hood.
It's the right height, the right depth, just the width is a little off. You can see notes that we kind of wrote around, like there's a double dado here for some reason. We're going to add a stretcher here. So it's kind of our mock-up.
So one of the things that he did too is we have a 45-degree bit in the CNC, and so he mitered all of the edges when they come together, so that we don't have to try and blend out a seam or spend a lot of time sanding at the front piece. So we're actually going to create a jig on the CNC that's the same curve as this, so when the specialty builder pulls it together, he'll clamp it and it'll end up at the same curve that this is, just by being able to squeeze it like this. And so yeah, I may have forgot to tell you, but I need you to cut that.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
So I want Sam to talk about really the tech side of all the work that he did on this, because I can just tell him what to do. The rest is really up to him.
He always says, oh, just click a button. There should be a button for that, right?
There's a button for it.
Right. Behind a bunch of formulas and other drop downs and different things. And so I did watch a YouTube video for Mosaic that helped kind of the general process of how the hood goes together. But I really wanted to make this scalable, because in the homes that we're getting, some are 52 inches wide, some are 36 inches wide, whatever they may be. I don't want to have to redesign the hood every single time. And so a lot of this is actually linked with formulas. So as you scale it, it will all scale together. So if our hood is taller, it'll insert more of these ribs or less. I can affect the depth really easily, not just one at a time, but in bulk, the spacing in bulk. You got to figure out, like, I sent Emmett a picture of the Pythagorean theorem, because I had to figure out the C, a squared plus b squared equals c squared kind of thing. So I figured that out, and I haven't used that math in 10, 15 years, but it was kind of crazy to
I never learned the math, so
I didn't really know I needed it. The YouTube video definitely helped with that, some other research. But putting that in place, figuring out, it didn't work the first time or the second time, but the third, fourth, fifth time, eventually I figured it out. So I have about 5 hours invested in the hood build, but now I can scale and move and do whatever. There's inserts that will cut a hole in the bottom floor for the actual fan inserts, and so I've made that on a Formula 2. They call it Parametric, and so if we have an insert that's 20 by 10, great, I can just type that in and it will auto scale to whatever we need. So kind of going through the pain of building it once versus having to build it every single time.
I'm super huge on, I say it all the time, buildable, repeatable. I want, in my shop, when we build range hoods, I have 4 different styles. I have them all drawn in my computer. And so if somebody calls me and they need one to a specific size, I can make a couple clicks, drag some pieces over, and then resend that all to CNC, and it cuts everything. But it's still the same build for Caleb. It's still the same process for Justin. Nothing really changes. I mean, maybe some color choices and stuff like that. And I love doing custom stuff, but within custom stuff, if you want to, I guess, make a living, you need to be able to have it buildable, repeatable. And so, some of the time frames I've been hearing on building a range hood almost scared me out of building range hoods, because and so what we're doing is try to work that time down by using the CNC, making things so that they come together easily. And there's just, not that there isn't any thinking in it, it just minimizes steps.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of thinking in it.
Yeah, for Sam, not for me. So
just click a button, right? This is a button.
Just click buttons.
A little dustier than normal right now. We're still waiting on our permanent dust collection unit. We're running off these temporary units. It's still doing great, but it'll be even better once we get the permanent setup going.